Hello, my friends. Welcome to Kundalini Yoga 101, the root chakra, the first of a series of yoga practices that are designed to help you on your journey towards higher consciousness. Go ahead and grab your yoga blocks, a blanket, some pillows. We're going to begin in a comfortable seating position. So you could sit on your heels with a blanket in between or a blanket underneath your ankles, or even sitting on a block or just cross-legged. Kundalini uses breath work to begin to awaken our energy centers. So go ahead and place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. We're going to take a look at our breathing. And I want you to begin by breathing into your chest, so you'll feel your top hand rise, and then finish your inhale by breathing into your belly. So you're breathing into your chest first and then into your belly. So huge, deep inhale. And then exhale by releasing first from the belly and then from the chest. So breathing into the chest and then to the belly. And exhale, release from the belly and then from the chest. Continue breathing like this, extending your inhales and your exhales, creating that deep breath. Bringing in as much prana from the outside into your body. So you're bringing that energy into your body. Now relax and return to a natural, effortless breathing for you. Place both hands on your heart and we will begin to connect with our heart. Now begin to squeeze the muscles in your pelvic floor, kind of as if you were trying to hold in going to the bathroom. And now we have a sealed energy center. And using your imagination, as you breathe in, picture energy from your root moving up the spine into the heart. And then exhale. And as you breathe in again, you're bringing and raising this energy up from the root and bringing that inhale up to the heart. You can have a gentle smile on your face and exhale. We're going to start with some slow movements now. Rolling the shoulders forward one at a time on both sides in a dynamic circular motion. Reversing the direction, rolling our shoulders backwards. Begin to move the spine and any sort of slithery motions that feel comfortable for you. With a straight spine, we'll be twisting now from side to side, gently, with help from our knees. Breathing in as we move in one way and breathing out as we move in another, connecting our breath with our movement. I like to close my eyes and just feel where my body needs to stretch. Now moving into circular motions with our hips. Just starting to awaken our body. Have fun with it, play around with it. Literally just close your eyes and move intuitively, no thinking, just move and stretch. Make your circles as big as you want or as small as you want. Kundalini, the metaphorical serpent that lays dormant at the base of your spine. And with yoga, meditation, several different practices, we can awaken this, meaning opening up our energy channels or all the chakras in our body, so that this serpent can rise to our crown, to our higher consciousness. We do this by removing blockages, blocked chakras, blocked energy channels, blocked emotions, feelings, masks, walls, and armor that we put on to protect ourselves. And this all starts at the base, at that pelvic floor that we were squeezing. The serpent needs to feel safe to be able to rise. We need to feel grounded in our bodies, secure in ourselves, and we have to be real with ourselves in order to do that. Be honest with who we are and where we're going, what we want our journey to be here on earth. Continue to stretch. You can place your hands on the ground and walk over side to side, stretching out the side body, swaying arms back and forth, letting your hands move in space around you. So trying to feel all the parts of space around you. Your hands are going in all directions. You are exploring your environment. We are starting at the root chakra because our body and this earth is what is real and present in the physical world. So we first need to become acquainted with it. Your body is the vehicle that you are using to experience this transformative journey. So we have to start at the root. We have to be comfortable with ourselves. We have to feel secure, at ease, at peace. We have to feel safe. Okay. An unbalanced root chakra could mean feelings of anxiety, feelings of disconnection with yourself, your body, your feelings, your thoughts, dissociation, not feeling grounded, feeling like you're up in space, not being present. So through this yoga practice, we are going to cultivate the opposite of all of that. Continue to breathe, continue to expand from your hips, moving in all directions, exploring your environment, exploring your own body too, noticing how your body feels in each movement. And remember to continue to be connected with your breath. Your breath is your little sidekick throughout life. It really is. It's always going to be there. And there are some miracles that breath work can do, such as helping you navigate those fears, the insecurities, help you navigate experiences that are difficult. You just breathe through them and you ventilate the experiences with your breath. I'm doing some seated cat-cows here. So arching my back up to the sky and bending my chin in as I exhale, so as I'm breathing out. And then as I breathe in, arching the chest forward and up, chin to the sky for cat-cow. In future yoga classes, I'll be going through all the chakras, so the whole Kundalini journey. And if you do like my yoga classes, I would love if you could support me on Patreon. It's about $3 a month, and I can continue to make these yoga classes for you all, which is what I love to do. It also helps to comment and subscribe and like this video, just showing some support for what I am doing here, because I really love to do it with all of you guys. Breathe in and raise your arms to the sky. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Squeeze your pelvic floor again. And once more, as you breathe in, raise that energy from the floor of your body, your root, up to the heart, up through the neck, the spine, to the top of your head, higher consciousness. We're giving that little snake a tickle with these breathing exercises and imagination of energy centers, raising that energy higher and higher. so that we can feel more connected with ourselves and those around us, with the universe, a greater sense of awareness, moving past duality, and finding more compassion and love. Slowly come out of your seating position to bring your feet in front of you, still flat on the mat, bringing your sits bones as close as you can to your heels and lying down onto your back for bridge pose. Squeeze your thighs, your booty, and your abs as you lift your hips up to the sky. Arms are flat on the mat beside you, or you can interlace your fingers. Squeeze and hold this position. Your chin is tucked to your chest. We don't want any pressure though on the neck, so make sure that it's in a safe position. If you have a block, you can add extra support by placing the block under your sacrum, so that large bony process nearly at the base of your spine, not entirely, that would be your tailbone, so a little bit above your tailbone. And you can place it at any level. So here I'm showing the highest level, which really gives a nice release to my spine. And now we are in this reverse position. So we're basically helping this little serpent to move up the spine, like a water slide. A lot of these concepts are, at least for me, I take them as metaphors. So I don't believe there is actually a snake in your body, but it's more of that illustrative sense to help you understand that this is just a journey of opening up this life force energy within you. And when you do, or as you do, and of course it's a journey and a process, so it all comes in different times, and it's not even linear. You know, you can open up certain chakras more at certain times than others. If you haven't already, bring your hips to the floor, and you can windmill your knees side to side to help massage that lower back. Begin to rise in bridge pose one more time. As you do, again, squeezing the lower portion of your abdomen and your pelvic floor and your booty, and placing awareness on that area, on your root chakra, which is our focus. You can play with some fun variations here. If you want to bring your left ankle and cross it over to underneath your right knee, and then doing some hip pulses. So lowering your hips to the ground, not all the way, and then bringing them back up, squeezing your abs and your booty as you do so. Continue to go at your own pace. Remember to connect your breath with each movement. So breathing in as you raise your hips and breathing out as you lower them. Release that left leg so you can straighten it out. Bring it back to the floor. Hips now reach the mat, and bring your knees into your chest for a big hug. You can give yourself a little kiss on your knees too, because you deserve it. All right, also now rolling on our spine. Massaging our spine by rolling back and forth. Beginning to break apart those blockages that are stopping us from reaching our highest potential. Both feet come flat on the mat now. Right leg straight and cross over so the ankle is underneath the left knee. And go ahead and do those pulses on the other side. Lifting the hips up to the sky and lowering. Squeeze your belly, really a strong core here. You can also do these bridge pulses without the leg being crossed, but just as if you were in the position we began in. Both legs on the ground. All right, release the right leg, bring it to the mat. Hold it for one more breath and lower your hips to the mat, bringing knees into the chest. And circling your hips now with your knees in opposite directions, same directions. Again, this is intuitively for you to decide. But I really felt like opening up my hips here by moving my knees in big circles. And I got some cracks too, which is always fun. I hope you do too. Cracks are literally like mini fireworks in your body. I just made that up. But it's like energy. It's a release. Now straighten your legs up to the sky, using your abdominal muscles, squeezing your core. Move your legs in circles, so you're painting circles with your toes on the roof or the sky. And go in both directions, keeping your legs nearly straight. Knees can be bent slightly. And this movement is coming from your core. Beautiful. Now, if you can use your core to lift yourself up into shoulder stand, or you can also place a block under your sacrum again, kind of in like a waterfall position if shoulder stand is not for you today. So for shoulder stand, so your elbows are close together with your hands supporting your low back. You want to create a straight line from your toes all the way to your shoulders as best as you can. Chin is tucked to chest, but also placing awareness on our neck to make sure we're not overworking or over moving the area. Squeeze your belly and hold this position, continuing to breathe throughout. You might notice a difference in your breathing as you're quite literally upside down. But just notice, because your breathing is still there and it's still supporting you. Now have fun with it. Get all slithery with your legs. Just like we were doing with our arms, exploring our environment, do the same with your legs. See how far you can move in one direction. Bend a knee here and there. Make it look all weird and wonky. Because it's fun and it feels good. One toe can tap to the mat behind you. Another one can meet with your arms extended in the opposite direction. This is plow pose. Quite an intense stretch on the spine, so you can opt out if you need to. Some supportive tips: you can place a blanket under your shoulders or your neck. You can do plow pose by keeping your knees bent. Your toes don't have to reach the floor. There's a lot of different options. You can be facing a wall, so your toes can reach for a wall for extra support. But in plow pose here, begin to stretch out the hamstrings. My knees are slightly bent so that I can get into that upper part of the hamstring and the glutes. And I'm reaching for my toes. You can move your feet out into a wide-legged plow. Many options. Or bringing the knees to the mat. And my head just disappeared. So knees are right next to our ears for ear pressure pose. This is actually one of my favorite poses. I always do this when I have digestive issues, and it's just the best. All right, so begin to straighten. If you are still in shoulder stand, we will go ahead and lower our knees to our forehead, using our core muscles, our abdomen, squeeze and lower vertebrae by vertebrae your spine to the mat. Really controlled, mindful. Then bend the knees to the chest, roll onto the spine a couple times until you make your way up to seated. Going to stretch out our shoulders. You're positioned on your side as if you're lying on the mat on your hip, and then your left arm reaches back behind you with the shoulder touching the mat, and then opening up by bringing your right hand out to reach your left. So you're using the pressure of the floor to open your left shoulder. I placed a blanket under my head for a little bit of extra support and comfort. Make your way onto your belly, and we will go ahead and do the other side. So right hand extends at a 90-degree angle from your torso, with palms placed on the mat. Then open your chest by bringing your left hand, reaching the back wall behind you in the same direction as your right hand, opening up that right shoulder. Returning back to center on our bellies, you're going to place the palm of your hands next to your chest, so slightly underneath your armpits, using controlled strength of our abdomen and our back muscles, as well as the glutes. So squeezing all three at the same time, we are going to do dynamic baby cobras. So lifting the chest and your chin up to the sky, keeping the thighs on the mat, but still engaging your quadriceps, your thighs, so that you are secure in this position. I like to bend my knees as well as I do this motion for a little bit of a back bend extension. This is also going to activate muscles in your triceps and your biceps. So you're really working a lot of things here under the surface. Continue with your breath, keeping it deep and controlled. Breathing into the chest and the belly, so an expansive breath. Now place your elbows onto the mat so that they're underneath your shoulders, and keep your chest lifted for Sphinx. Engaging your thighs, engaging your belly. This looks like an easy posture, but try doing this for 5 minutes straight and you'll see. But we won't do it for that long. Just beginning to activate our back muscles. And on your next exhale, lower your forehead to the mat. Take a couple breaths here. All right, tuck your back toes, place your hands near your chest again. Lift your hips up using your core onto the knees. We're going to transition into puppy pose. So your hips are directly above your knees, your arms out in front of you, and your chest, your belly button is lowering to the floor. You can rest your head on a block or on the mat. Take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, breathing out, you lower further towards the mat. You release all the tension. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Option to take the right shoulder and thread it underneath the left arm so that you are resting on your outer shoulder and your temple of your head is placed on the mat. This also stretches the side body, your obliques. And switch sides. Taking the left arm, threading it underneath the right, resting on that shoulder. Your temple of your head is gently placed on the mat, or on a block, or on a blanket. Continue to breathe here. Stay connected with your breath. Notice how it feels now compared to the beginning of class. All right, begin to unthread your needle back to tabletop. We're going to move into frog pose. So if you have a blanket, I place it under my knees for support and so that it can slide on my hardwood floors. Your knees should be a 90-degree angle from your hips and your feet. If your hips are too far forward, you might want to bring your knees in a little bit. Whereas if your hips are too far back, almost as if it's a child's pose, you can extend your knees even wider. And then fall your chest to the mat. Relax in this position. It's kind of like a puppy pose, but with your knees out. Stretching the groin, the hips, all areas of that root chakra. To help with releasing tension, I want you now to squeeze your glutes and your pelvic floor as hard as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. See if you've fallen deeper into the stretch. Either way, this is a great practice to deepen your stretching and flexibility routine, and to release any stored tension in the muscles, stored emotions, stored experiences. So be gentle with yourself if anything does come up. Meditation and yoga is no easy feat. It can be quite a experience. Possible psychic visions, experiences from your past coming back up. This greater awareness is not easy sometimes. So be gentle, take your time, be slow with yourself and patient, and always reach for help if you need it. Okay? Now we're going to slide out of frog, so moving your chest forward with your hands until you can bring your knees together behind you. Grab onto your ankles or the back of your feet, and we're going to lift up into bow pose. So you're lifting your feet and your arms up at the same time, pressing them into each other, engaging your belly and your thighs to lift yourself up, and then lower back to the ground. We will lift up into bow one more time. So deep breath in as you engage your belly and your chest curls up. Your hands are pressed into your ankles. Your thighs and your glutes are activated. Option to do locust instead. So just lifting your arms and your legs, balancing on your belly, engaging your core. And lower back down to the ground. Slowly roll over onto your back and finding your block or a rolled up blanket or a pillow, gonna place it on the upper portion of our spine. So kind of in the wide direction, this block is underneath our shoulder blades. I'm placing one more block underneath my head and curling my spine. This is a passive pose, so no effort is needed here. Just release. Arms to the side in a cactus to open the shoulders and the chest. I'm also removing the block because sometimes I want a little bit of a more deepening stretch, especially in my neck. It's kind of like a fish pose, but it just feels amazing for your upper spine. Slowly remove your props from your spine and lower flat onto the mat for our final resting pose of Shavasana. Begin to lay heavy on your mat, noticing all the points where your body meets the floor. So the back of your head, your shoulders, shoulder blades, your tailbone, the backs of your thighs, your calves, heels. You can place a hand again on your belly and one on your heart. Returning to natural breathing this time, but instead using your hands to notice your belly rising and falling, and notice and even feel your heartbeat. Your body is always active, even when you don't know this vehicle that you are taking through life. I want you to say thank you to your body for doing that. No matter what your body looks like, no matter how it feels, ultimately it is doing the best it can for you, even if you don't see it. Sometimes we hurt ourselves, but even that is a protective mechanism. Your body always wants you to be thriving, to survive, to be optimal. And sometimes the environment, just like a flower when in the wrong environment, will not survive. Sometimes it's like that with you as well. So choose good environments. Begin to wiggle the toes, wiggle your fingers. Roll onto your side in fetal position and bring yourself back up to seated. Congratulations for completing the class, you beautiful human. I am proud of you. And I would love for you to continue along this journey with me. The next chakra will be sacral, in charge of sexuality, emotions, creativity. So subscribe, like, comment, do all of that, and I will see you guys in my next video. Have a wonderful day. Mwah.